And like I said, the bigger we get, we got more people coming at us. People are going to try to do bad things to us no matter what because they don't want us to succeed.
Is we grew up so fast that we got so much attention, and you're not allowed to, in the corrupted market, you're not allowed to grow fast. You're not allowed to pop out of nowhere and help people change their life. You're not allowed to do that.
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way. I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly.
Karma's a bitch.
Queen of Karma.
Hello, everyone, and how are you all doing today? I hope that you are all doing very, very well. Today, we have an update from the back office. I need to show you how they react to updates from the back office because it's slightly hilarious. And I thought that we would watch the first episode of the new clown show, which I guess is the new Three Amigos, which is, of course, Marty DeGarmo, Mike Ellis, and Dan Street, because they finally did an episode together last night at 8 p.m. Eastern, where Dan showed up. So it's the three of them together, since apparently that's what it's supposed to be. So I thought that we would get into that. But first and foremost, one sec. There we go. Thank you. First and foremost, I thought we would go through the message from the back office. The newest message, which was updated also last night on July 7th. I hope that you guys can hear me and everything's okay. My internet is wigging out on me, so please do let me know. If it wigs out too much, let me know. I can always do this in a video. It's not a problem. I don't know what happened. Everything was fine. I went to do the stream, and then everything went wrong. And I was like, what is going on? Anyway, they called it O News 2, which I found very interesting because O News is very new. Hello, Mr. Level. Good to see you. It's all good. All right, good. I'm glad. See, it says my internet is connected with all the bars, but then the StreamYard is like, no, it's not. And I'm like, well, I don't know why. That's weird. Anyway, as you can see, O News 2, pruning for a stronger future. Interesting wording, you know? Transparency isn't just a principle, it's a promise. And as we move forward, it's more important than ever that we honor that promise with clarity and integrity. Every strong tree occasionally needs careful pruning. Note as a setback or something negative, not as a setback or something negative, but as a vital part of continued healthy growth. In that spirit, we've recently chosen to part ways with a former public representative of the company. As new information has come to light regarding conduct that does not align with our values, this decision reflects our unwavering commitment to integrity and long-term success. We share this with you as part of our ongoing commitment to be transparent and to build something worthy of your trust and enthusiasm. The path ahead is clearer, the roots are stronger, and the future is beginning to blossom. Stay tuned to O News for more updates coming soon. So, O News 2 message. This is it here. Isn't it wonderful? Now, when this was posted, I made sure to post it early this morning, also on my community tab. And a lot of people were wondering if this was Chris Johnson. So we asked Chris Johnson, and he said no. No, it's not about him. He's still in the company. Don't worry, he's not leaving. So I went looking at every single O founder that I could think of that would be considered a so-called public representative of the company, which is something that they've never called anyone, so that was interesting. Hello, Mark. Good to see you. The scam clings on by its fingertips. That it does. That it does. So I don't know who they're talking about, guys. I don't know. As of right now, everyone that we would consider a public representative of the company, so people that we would all know, you know, people that do the webinars about OnPassive, that's who you would assume they're speaking of when they say that. And so far, everyone still seems to be in OnPassive. So if you do see somebody announcing their departure, let us know, because all of the major players seem to still be there. That doesn't mean that by the end of today or tomorrow something won't change. So again, if you see it, do let us know. So it was quite interesting. Somebody was deposed? Maybe. I don't know. I have no clue who it is. All I know is that Chris Johnson says it's not him, and a lot of people thought it was because he announced that he was going and taking a break, And a lot of people are hoping that during this break, he kind of leaves and sees the light. So then they were like, oh, well, maybe that's why he announced he was taking a break. I don't even know if it's anyone. For all we know, this could just be a message posted to guilt trip Chris Johnson for taking a break. I don't know. I don't know what move this is. I'm just kind of like Mark, confused about the whole public representative thing. I was like, when have you started calling anyone that? Because surely, like, if you ask Marty DeGarmo, he's the only public representative. And then he'll shout out, like, Ryan every once in a while. Maybe Gersminder, Chris, his buddies that we're about to watch him with, you know? That kind of thing. But I'm like, that term has never, ever been used by OnPassive to describe anyone. Even Ash has never considered himself to be a public representative of the company. Like, he's never even called himself that. So it was very, very weird. But it is Ash, so it's expected that we're all very confused and going, what the hell is this man talking about? So, you know, I haven't heard from Morlock recently. It could be him, you know, he's not off the table. Nobody is technically right now. This was only announced late last night, my time. Which I believe isn't, you know, most people would have gotten the message last night that are in OnPassive based on the time it was posted, I believe. So I don't really know. As of yesterday, everyone seemed to be posting as usual, so there was no sign that it could be anyone. Even Chris Johnson is still streaming stuff on his channel for OnPassive, so he may be on a break, but he's still kind of around. Anyway, we've gone through the last several messages. We go through all of the messages that they put in the back office. And I often talk about how they hype them up all the time. Hello, Joe. Good to see you. Glad you made it. And hello there. And there was an OTech Pros done the other day with Bob, of course. And it was the one that Mike and Marty were at. But Bob just gave me a beautiful example of how they interpret these messages, no matter how silly the messages are. You may remember the one that just said, winning, winning, oh, winning. And, you know, we joked that they were all very, very excited about it. So I kind of had to show it to you.
You know, last week, our father, Mr. Ash, rocked us. I mean, he rocked me when he came in the back office and he wrote those cryptic words. Winning, 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 winning. Oh, winning, with the peace sign. I'm sure all of us, our imaginations went wild.
Like, what? The most simple thing that you could put, especially for OnPassive, who are always like in it to win it. Like that. It's the most simple message you could put. And, like, you know, they're very excited about it.
You know? And then, 2 days ago, he came again. He said, what was it? The spark of something new. That was the title of his message that he brought in 2 days ago. He said, something exciting is in the works. And in the days ahead, we are going to give you updates. And now he calls it old news. So remember, when you hear of old news, you know where you are going to. You know, old news is the new catchword. So go to old news. If you haven't seen that, go to old news and you see what our founder, Mr. Ash, wrote. So we should all stay focused on that.
So I guess like the back office is called O News now, which is O News to me. Like, again, this is a first. And when it first happened there the other day, we were all kind of like, oh no, they're going to be treating this like a new product. Like, you know, and when it's not, it's just the back office. But here it is.
On that old news, because that's where updates are going to be coming. That is from where we derive the topic that we say there's imminent victory and the next chapter. That is the clue that we got from what our founder, Mr. Ash, he wrote last week and a couple of days ago.
IMO News. Judith says, start of something new. Shame on all these people supporting Ash's scam. For sure.
You know, so you can take what our founder has written, look at it from any dimension, let your imagination go wild. I can tell you, you are probably correct. Whatever thoughts are in your head, our founder, Mr. Ash, is coming out with something that the world has never seen, we think. You know, it's my opinion, but I think it's good. It's true. You know, so what does this next chapter look like?
What does it look like, guys? What do you think? I mean, they might have settled with the SEC, and I feel like they would have had to have agreed to part of it, you know? So I'm hoping that he agreed to shut down OnPassive and pay back the money. My only fear is that maybe he doesn't have the director's bar, so he can open up something new, and that's what his plan is right now, because that's what it sounds like. You know, if I had to guess what he would be trying to do. I don't think he's packing it up. I don't think no matter what happens with this lawsuit, I don't think Ash Mufareh is done scamming. I think he will try to keep going any way that he can. And I think that if they did settle, he would have to agree to part of what the SEC put on the table. I don't see him not agreeing to anything and the SEC being like, yeah, we'll settle that. You know, like that just doesn't sound like them. They have a very, very high conviction rate. So it's like they don't have anything to worry about. Like, this is his benefit, the settlement. Ash is coming out with basic shit, pretty much. I should post something in Marty's chat and see what happens. That would be funny. Pay back the money. Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to. It's all spent. The $108 million for sure is gone. Anything that's not spent is hidden in crypto somewhere, I believe. But knowing who Ash is as a person and knowing how much he does want to run a company and does want to continue this scam, I wouldn't put it past Ash to believe that he could get another $108 million from these people for another buy-in and then use that to maybe pay back what he owes from OnPassive. And in his mind, it would be successful. So he would just have to pay them back with the initial buy-in. And of course, they're all going to buy in again because it's him. And that would be like his way of thinking. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he thought would happen. You know what I mean? SEC and Ash's lawyers have agreed to extend the negotiation date to September. Yes. But they did say in this document, which we read the other day, that they have reached somewhat of an agreement. Like there is an agreement reached between the parties that has been sent to the SEC to look over. And they're hoping that this one will be accepted. They've been negotiating the whole time. But again, the SEC could look at that and go, no thanks, and send it back to them. And I don't know how many times you're allowed to do this. I don't know if there's a cutoff. I'm not a lawyer. My knowledge comes from following these cases so much over the last 6 years. You know what I mean? And honestly, I don't remember them going back and forth this much at this stage. And I don't know if there's a cutoff. Like, I don't know if it's like you can only go back and forth 3 times and then after that, too bad, we're going to court, or like how that really works. I don't know if it could be indefinite. I don't know if we could be here for a year just doing this. Like, I don't want you to have any expectations for this right now. Because again, we were hoping we would hear by yesterday, and then yesterday they were like, it will be September 5th. So just be ready. It looks like Ash is getting new lawyers as well. So he might be trying to prolong this also. I don't know. People play weird games in lawsuits. It happens. I still think he might have bought gold and buried it somewhere. Probably did something. Hello, Alps. In it to scam it. Good to see you. Yeah. Oh, news. Oh, news. Bob was very excited about it. In it to prune it. Yeah, that was very bizarre wording for that. I'm sure he's already planned on scamming another 97. That's what I mean. Like, in his mind, in Ash's mind, he would be like, I could just do that again, and I'll make another 108 million. They'll buy into the next thing. I have enough of them interested. And then I'll just, like, pay that back. And who knows if he has crypto hidden somewhere. I'm assuming so. Because there was a lot of it. So, you know, he could have other funds as well. That would be what he would be planning on doing. He seems like the type that would just keep trying to run a scam to pay back his last scam. You know, like, the scam is really just a rebrand of all his other scams. I think Ash will not be barred from setting up another company, unfortunately. I'm thinking that might be the only thing that they'd be willing to give up. So I'm like, maybe that's the agreement they reached. I could see that happening. That is likely. You know, it's always been likely that wouldn't happen. Don will be legally running the next company. Maybe. Scamming is like breathing for Ash. That's what I mean. Like, he's not going to go get a legitimate job to pay it. So, in his mind, he would be setting up another MLM company. Another scam. Because now he doesn't like MLM companies anymore. Or at least Marty doesn't. I don't know how that's going to work. Because no matter what, this is going to be an MLM company. Like, if he comes back and he's like, all right, let's start this thing up again, it will be an MLM company. So that will be quite funny. I can't wait for that. Because they'll have to explain the business at some point. Maybe they even do when they all got together last night.
Hello, everybody. Yes, you're looking at, don't rub your eyes. It is the three of us together.
And also don't rub your eyes because yes, he's doing it. The prayer ticker at the bottom. He has prayers listed there.
We never were apart, but in the last 4 years, probably not as much. But we went to a lot of webinars together, but we talk all the time. And we started off together and we're back together and we're planning on being together anyway. When this thing gets rocking and rolling, you will definitely see us, probably our back ends, because we're going to be on the move.
Guess I should correct myself. We have a prayer on there. They're praying for one person. Poor Sandra. Prayers for a kidney transplant. Remember Ash said he had some high-powered friends who weren't involved in OnPassive. He might use them to set up new MLM company on his behalf. Maybe. I mean, he was already going to use Ahmad Swafda to set up whatever this new thing was. Which at the time of its setup, it was supposed to be that smart fusion technologies. So, good old O fusion. Right? So, I mean, again, yeah, he could do that. Even if he got the director's bar. Technically. Unfortunately, he'd commit fraud. That's what he's in trouble for.
Anyway, I'm going to turn over to Dan and say hello, and he can turn it over to Mike.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody. It's great to be here. I haven't been on in a while, and it's just great to be on with everybody. It's also great to see Of course, my two cohorts in crime, Mike and Marty, but it's great to see Marty in particular gaining strength and looking great. And I love seeing him in that chair again. And pretty soon he's going to be clicking on all cylinders. I know that, his body's been through a lot, and it takes time. It takes time to heal. And he's doing the right things, and it's just a real blessing to see him back in the saddle. So
doesn't have the oxygen back though. That's not good.
Looking forward to this. It's exciting. And Mike, take it away.
Yeah, no, thanks, Dan. Hopefully my internet connection is okay and everybody can hear me. I'll have a few things to say today. Hopefully it'll bring a little value to everybody.
Right. Well, Mark, it's like, if you were so great at it and you could make all this money, why are you here? Why aren't you doing that then?
Marty, the theme of this is ethics, really. Honest, ethical, and clean, which is what Mr. Mufareh has been for the last 8 years. So a pretty easy webinar for Dan, Marty, and I. But I think
that's called Uplift Your Life with Marty, Mike, and Dan. Like, Uplift Your Life is, I guess, the name of the show.
We'll bring you some insights that maybe you haven't thought about, and some value as we're waiting for Mr. Mufareh to come out and chat with us. Go ahead, Marty.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mike. Over the weekend, I want to keep everybody in mind, there was 2 webinars, the OTech Pros and Heroes. Both were very, very good. I just put them in the chat. You click on those, you can watch them later.
You're not missing anything. I just showed you a clip of Bob from it. The rest is the usual bullshit. like you're not missing anything if you haven't seen it. If you did, then you know what I mean. And if you haven't, don't go rushing over or anything. You're good, only watch it if you're super interested to find out what they were promoting. It's the usual shit. It was almost like Mike and Marty did a repeat too of earlier that day. Like, it was just unnecessary, of course. Honest, ethical, and clean. That would be news. That would be news.
Very good. And I made many
big hand waving
small clips from each one, from Mike Ellis to all the tech guys, everyone. Important things that came out. What hit me the most was clean and ethical. And Mike brought it up. And I thought, with AI.
That we're not that at all, because that would have been honest at least.
The power of AI. If it's in the wrong hands, it can make a mess.
I think I have AI fatigue. Devil's Advocate was saying this in the Discord the other day. I have to agree. Like, everything is AI right now. Every single thing is about AI. And it's just like, stop talking about it.
Trust me, I'm learning just enough about it now that there's a part of me that says, whoa, we got to watch this closely. Okay. We really need to watch this closely. I'm going to play a little video I put together with some of the information that I gathered.
Oh, no.
And I hope you'll find it interesting.
Probably not.
Second. Here we go.
The world is changing, and so is power. Artificial intelligence is no longer the future, it's the present. But with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh my Lord.
AI can heal, it can build, it can uplift millions, if we guide it with integrity. But in the wrong hands, it can divide, deceive, and destroy.
Yeah, you mean people could make propaganda with it for their pyramid schemes? I know it sucks.
We must demand AI that serves humanity, not
People are starting cults to worship it. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that very soon. I can't wait.
manipulated. AI that respects life, that honors privacy, that uplifts the forgotten.
It honors privacy. This is why you don't get AI to read your stuff. All right. The only times that I've ever used AI is if I actually need like a robotic sounding voice. And for whatever reason, I don't want to use my own voice. I've only done this maybe a handful of times in my over 1,000 videos. Because it's privacy. You know how annoying that is? And I swear to God, Marty doesn't watch any of these videos through before he uploads them. To like make sure that they're right, you know?
No matter the cost, no matter the pressure, we follow what is right. Because clean and ethical AI isn't just good technology. It's a moral stand, a global mission, a future worth fighting for. The time to choose is now. Because clean and ethical AI isn't just good technology. It's a moral stand, a global mission, a future worth fighting for. Stand for clean and ethical AI, because the future of humanity depends on it. This is our motto.
Lord.
Join us today. Thanks for
Future
watching.
of humanity.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like and share, and make
The future of humanity depend on that or Ash Mufareh. Either way, we're fucked.
a comment.
I love how he played the video all the way through to like do that.
I know that's something slapped together.
Good job, Marty. We needed the outro for sure. Like, come on.
But truthfully, it's pretty powerful. And if you remember, some companies that were multi-billion-dollar companies that were shut down because they were not ethical.
Oh my God.
Back in 2008, there was a company called Enron. It failed. Why did it fail? Massive account.
Did you just find out about this? Did you just find out about this, Marty? My family was a victim of Enron, unfortunately.
Fraud. He had billions of dollars in debt, balance sheets.
Woo!
Collapsed in 2001. 20,000 employees lost their job. Inflating profits that weren't there. Really, that's what they did.
He did say 2008, and then he said it collapsed in 2001, which is beautiful to me. I love that for him. Most ordinary folk don't really have a practical understanding of what AI is. So it's easy for scammers to capitalize on this and fool people into thinking there's a fortune to be made. Exactly. It also apparently explains everything. AI is just, if you don't know how to explain the technology, just say it's AI. That explains it. And there's a lot of that going on too. And a lot of things that actually aren't really AI, but people are just saying they're AI because AI is now like the newest buzzword being used, right? So it gets a lot of clicks. So they'll just be like, it's AI. It's like, no, that actually isn't AI, but okay. Sure, I guess we'll call it that. It's a go for spending stolen cash. That's right. You trust your AI toaster? You're not scared it's going to like become sentient, come after you? AI bubble coming up. Yeah, pretty much already in one.
Lehman Brothers, same thing. Investment banking, failure, reason, risky mortgage practices, misleading investors about financial health. Filed for bank trade in 2008, triggered a global financial crisis. Why? Because they were huge. Lesson, greedy, reckless, leading without transparency is catastrophic. Deeron, same thing. Volkswagen, years ago, they got in big trouble because they were lying about the emission cheating scandal. Installed software to
I don't know why. Like, okay, so Enron, I just had to double check. Enron started in 1985 and it went down in 2001. So I don't know why he keeps saying 2008 at all. It's great fun though.
Keep the pollution test. Paid over $30 billion in fines and lost public trust. Manipulating regulation may give short-term gains, but long-term disaster. Wells Fargo created millions of fake accounts to make sales targets. So in other words, hey, you need to meet this target. And I said, okay, let's just make up accounts. Find CEO regulation, long-term and brand.
You know, they didn't know it was a scam really until 2001. In October is when the major allegations. In 1998, they did begin water operations, though. So there was that, but there was nothing even, I don't know why his AI chose that year. I was trying to see if there was like a specific reason. I was like, is he getting mixed up with 1998? Because I don't think much happened to do with them being discovered as a scam then either. Like, so I don't know.
Damage. Unethical pressure on employees to lead to systematic fraud. Forever 21. Reason for implosion, practice supplier violations, bankruptcy 2019.
Yeah, violations. Like not paying your employees. That's among those violations. Remember, like Ash didn't do?
Backlash, poor brand image. It happens all the time. And it always really comes from one thing.
I know Ash even did it.
Greed.
Right.
And they're not ethical.
Right.
It's never good enough.
Yeah.
The beauty of our CEO, we don't know where we're going. My imagination is.
And now we start with delusions. Because you just described your CEO, sir. Remember, your CEO owes over 900 employees wages for about 9 months that they worked for him. And according to him, it was around the clock with very little sleep. They slept at the office, worked around the clock, taking shifts, according to him. Remember, he used to brag about it all the time on webinars. I mean, I told you not to. He just had to continue doing it, though. So here we are. That's unethical to do to your actual employees. I'm not talking about MLM distributors. I'm talking about the tech team that he hired that were supposed to be paid wages, that were supposed to come into the office and work, and then they were supposed to go home. But according to him, he really did run the office like it was a Scientology center. Nobody was ever allowed to go home. They were just working around the clock and then catnapping on their desk whenever they could. And they even tried to sign up minors. So, very much like Scientology.
We're going to Emerald City. And some. Okay? That's what I believe.
Okay.
But because he's not running off of how much can I make, we're never going to have to worry about the greed. Ethical?
He pocketed $108 million. But sure, Marty. We'll just, forget about that for now, I guess.
He's ethical. You don't even have to question it. So I'm talking to people out there looking at this for the first time.
Right.
AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It's not coming. It's here. It's going to grow and grow and grow and grow.
I don't know. It's not as socially accepted right now as it was like a couple of years ago. People are starting to speak out about AI now and go, maybe we need to stop this AI boom from happening. And that's happened before. That's kind of what happens to the AI boom. We've done this a few times now, right? Like the thought of ethics come up, and then people realize all the harm it's doing and how it's fucking up the environment and other things. And then they go, maybe we should, put a stop to all of this. So, and that's kind of happening again. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be that big in another few years. I don't know if we'll be talking about AI as much as we are today. I sure as fuck hope not, because like I said, I'm already in AI fatigue, okay? I'm already there. I'm already there. Hey. Marty is institutionalized. He can't do anything else other than sit in front of the computer and talk nonsense. Apparently not, because, like, Lord, Marty, you're not describing Ash when you're like honest, ethical. I don't know about clean. I've never smelled him. I'll take your word for it.
And I would say, if I was coming online for the first time in my life right now, and I
would be fucking horrified.
I wanted to look at a way to create.
I did log online in 2013 after not being online for like 5-6 years, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
An income, a long-term income. I would try to find a company that was ethical. They are AI.
Okay.
You have a CEO that cares about the people, uplifting humanity, AI with heart. I'm there. So this might be something you want to look at.
I would hope that if you logged on the internet, the first thing that you would do would not be go join some MLM company. Otherwise, boy, are people wrong when they tell me that I don't have a reason to run my channel. I'm like, fuck, I got a lot of work to do. What do you mean? You were never online before you'd log online and then you'd go look for OnPassive? Of all things. Jeez, that'd be a shitty deal. I mean, I guess there's worse cults to join, but let's not do that. I would hope that's not the first thing you do. Maybe it is, though. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that about your mom, though, Jerry. I am glad that the surgery went well today, though. She's 87. Wow. I hope I live to see 87. But I am glad that that went well, although I am sorry that it was necessary. Woo woo. We're celebrating. I don't know what we're watching, Sherry. I don't know. Well, you might leave here more depressed. I don't know. I also, like, it's not the same vibe. I miss Chris. Can we bring Chris back? You have Chris on as a guest. This is like, it's either super dry or it's just constant lies. Like, there's nothing else. That's all it is. Just like, fuck. This is awful. Is Mike the grand wizard of his local KKK? Probably. I don't know. The man has no emotion. I don't know. Never seen somebody so robotic in all my life. Like, he might be AI, okay?
I'm telling you, I've been around the block. I'm 65 years old. I've been doing this a long, long time. And if you could find a man that his vision is to uplift humanity, do everything ethical and clean, this is the place to be. I believe that with all my heart. I'm going to turn it over to Dan.
Oh, thanks, Marty. Well,
I don't know if this is going to be any better. Dan's like Mike Ellis with a little more spunk. Like,
I'd like to start off a little bit here by reminding everybody that there's just absolutely nothing.
Like now all of a sudden we missed that. This show sucks. I'm going to get my tomatoes.
God can't do if we trust him with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding. In all our ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight our path. And I honestly believe that he's directing an exciting new path here for all of us. And we know we're in the right place at the right time when everyone from Mr. Mufareh to Marty, Chris, Mike, and this entire community that we have here have put God first. I know Mr. Mufareh has, I know Marty has, I know Mike has. And when we do that, we can't fail. So that being said, this is a very exciting time, and I agree with both what Marty and Mike said over the weekend.
Marty's like, oh no, not Dan too. Don't start doing the prayers.
Regarding being patient and not spreading false speculation on what you think might be true. I'm getting a lot of that. If you look at Tanya and OnPassive's on our Facebook group and look at the post that you get, it's a little bit of tough love, it's blunt, and it's to the point. But I'm getting a lot of those same type of messages. And it's people that are taking an update news and ready to quit their job over something that they just aren't putting any common sense into. So there's a lot of false speculation out there, and unfortunately there are many people who have opinions that are false. So
it was Chris Johnson, though, who told everybody that they should quit their job. Like, Chris Johnson was the one that did that. So if you think that whoever it is that got let go is the person who was all like, oh, quit your jobs, and that's like misinformation. Like, I don't know what this speech is. But if that's what you're saying, then that's Chris Johnson. So then you would have to kick Chris Johnson out, technically. Otherwise, that's kind of not fair. You know, that's not really fair. You can't keep him in just because he's high up and then kick somebody else out who was really probably repeating what Chris said. You know what I mean?
And you know what? I actually have a guy that actually wrote me yesterday and said, well, I left my job because I was thinking OnPassive was going to be launched by now. Nobody told you to quit your job. Please don't do that. All right? This isn't, hey, we launch your rich. We all know this, guys. And I'm probably talking to people who know this. If you don't believe right now, because you have maybe some doubts, close your eyes. Actually, go quit your job. Go quit your job, because that job, I don't know how you have any beliefs. It might pay you every week because you go and do 40, 50 hours a week. But you have nothing else to fall back on but 30 years of service. And it's a long time. OnPassive is going to give you that plus. You just got to wait a little bit. And you know what? I actually have a guy that actually wrote me yesterday and said, well, I left my job because I was thinking OnPassive was going to be launched by now. Nobody told you to quit your job. Actually, go 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 quit your job.
So, you know, who said that?
they're using their imagination to spread rumors that just aren't true. And the bottom line is, like Marty said, they don't know. We don't know. But we will in a very short period of time. And we just have to be patient. And we will know when the time is right. So there are people that really think this is it really kind of bothers me. And we've gone over this time and time again, that people think this is a get-rich-quick company. And they're entitled to this life-changing income automatically without doing anything. My question to them would be, all right, how many customers do you have lined up to purchase an unknown product with an unknown commission structure. You don't know. We don't know the details of what's going on. So please wake up and be patient.
Okay, but why don't they know? They've already bought it like 7 years ago. This is what I mean. This is a problem.
And do take a time.
Like, what are they supposed to be doing? Like, you guys are going live every day. Again, you're the only ones that are allowed to go live and speculate about what's going to be with these company. Like, come on.
Anya, that was an awesome post you made. It was very, very good. It said everything, and people just have to take a step back, take a chill pill, and take a look at this kind of stuff. We are all unique, and we all tend to use our own imaginations and run wild when we hear news, and that's a good thing. I mean, gosh, all of us sitting here have our imaginations. I just imagine all these wonderful things that are going to be happening. But we have to come back to earth and face the reality that this is a business. And this is a business that's being totally restructured. And it takes a ton of work.
Yeah.
And we have to trust the process and not jump to conclusions that could lead us to making the wrong personal.
People think it's a get rich quick scheme. At least they have an excuse for being excited. These goons admit to not knowing anything and are excited about nothing. Exactly. And it's like, you keep telling people, don't worry, Ash is going to do something really big and it's going to be really amazing and you should be excited. Oh, but don't expect anything right now. You can't talk about it. But also get ready for when we take off and we launch, make sure you have everyone ready to sign up under you. It makes no sense. No sense.
And business decisions in our life for the short term. So we have to take responsibility for our own business. And this is a business. This is your business.
Your business.
We have to get our heads developed. We have to develop a work ethic that's better than the one we currently have. And only you know what your work ethic is.
Okay.
Think of ways you can improve yourself and be more
work are they doing?
Productive. What habits do you have currently?
You can't just say that to people. You can't just be like, you need to improve yourself. You need to improve yourself to get ready for when Ash Mufareh makes you a millionaire in another 10 years. Like, what does that entail? What does that mean? You're supposed to be doing a business, but like Joe just says, like, what is your business? So like, how are you supposed to do personal development to get ready for the business when you don't know what the business is? Like, I feel like that you need to know that information is proprietary. I feel like that's something you should be aware of is what the business is. And then you can prepare for the business and do any personal development that you would need to do to ready you for it. But what they really are asking people, usually when they're all like, oh, get ready, it is get ready to be financially stable. Marty DeGarmo, on this exact same day, released a video talking about time freedom, which is the term that MLM started using because they weren't allowed to talk about financial freedom anymore. So they replaced it with time freedom because we made it illegal for them to make illegal income claims. So, like, what do you mean? Usually, like, when people are like, oh, I'm getting ready for OnPassive, they're picturing themselves being financially stable. That is the go-to dream here. MLMs sell the American dream, which is basically the nice little house, white picket fence, that kind of thing. Stable income, 2 cars, like how people used to live in the 90s. Like that. Like, that's what they're thinking of. And if they're in another country, especially, that's what they're thinking of, by the way. And they're looking to the USA as like This is what you should strive to be in life. Is someone who is living in middle class USA. Right? You're selling the American dream to these people, which heavily involves, again, finances. So it's kind of also weird to be like, and then don't just think about, you know, how it's a get rich quick scheme, because kind of sold it as one. I mean, you told everyone as soon as the targeted traffic hit, they would all be financially stable, and now it's like you're going back on that. Only wake up when the products go on sale. You need time freedom, everyone does. Just be prepared for massive. It's going to be massive. Mark says, I emailed Red a few weeks ago and asked him how I can prepare for my business if I don't know what my business is. Right? I mean, you know, to his credit, he tried to answer this, but talked absolute rubbish. You should send that to me. That would just be fun to read. But, yeah, like, well, we know it's going to be AI. It's going to have to do with technology, and Ash Mufareh is making it with this tech team that doesn't exist. That's all they know. So, it's like, what are you supposed to do with that? How do you even get ready for that? What does that look like? And that's the thing. Like, did they tell us?
That haven't worked out so well for you that you might be able to change. How can you improve? Are you gaining knowledge? Like, I mean, Marty's talking about this AI knowledge. He didn't do it without really putting an effort into gaining the knowledge and understanding what it was. How can and ask yourself how you can increase your value to others in the areas of your faith, your family, and your work. And finally, for me,
most
don't
people,
get
though, are knowing. They know more about AI right now than they ever have before, because it is being mentioned in the media and whatnot more than ever, at least for a while. So I don't feel like you would need to be in OnPassive in order to learn about AI. I mean, if that's an interest of yours, which you would think it would have been if you joined OnPassive, then you're probably going to learn about it anyway, whether you were in the pyramid scheme or not. So why not learn about it while you're not in a pyramid scheme? It might be a better idea.
intimidated. Don't get intimidated. Just stay focused and maintain the loyalty and belief that you always have had with this company.
They're planting that seed that, like, if you want to leave, you must be intimidated. Like, that's why you would be leaving OnPassive right now. Not because, like, they haven't had a website in over a year. They're now starting to call their back office O News. They're being sued by the SEC. And nothing has happened in 7 years. None of those reasons could be why. It's just that you must be intimidated.
And I believe that we're going to receive more updates with more steps that we need to take.
Where were the steps in these last updates? It's just a bunch of, like, hype. Don't worry, it's coming soon. Look at us. We are ethical because we got rid of somebody, apparently.
That will be very clear.
Terminate it.
And even I will be able to follow them. I honestly believe that it's going to be that simple. Marty has talked about that before. Yeah, your grandmother could do it. You know, I'm not a techie, but I know that I can follow steps. And I'm going to see if I can do it. But I honestly believe that this is such a professional company that I will be able to follow those steps.
You think this place is professional? I can't trust your instincts anymore.
So let's put on our mature professional business hats and take this exciting process.
Everybody put on your mature professional business hats. That's how you get people to be professional. Good job, Dan.
Process one step at a time. And these steps, believe it or not.
And then you have John Barilla here going, Be patient. A lot of speculation is harmful when they twist the update news. You're right, Dan. And I'm like, okay, right now, all that's happening is the Streisand effect, and everyone's wondering who the fuck you guys allegedly cut ties with. And whose fault would that be? All right, if people are talking right now about the information posted in the back office right now, that's what they're concentrating on. Just like us, that's what we were concentrating on. The people in OnPassive are no different. They're also going to be like, well, who the hell was that? You know? But then whose fault is that? Who put the message in the back office? Why was it written like that? Why is everything so fucking cryptic? Why did you have to say anything at all about that? If it's something that people are going to notice, tell them who it is. If it's something that people won't notice, don't even mention it. And that's what you should be going by with everything like that. Like, if you cutting ties with this person because they're such a public figure would get everyone noticing and going, oh my God, this person isn't around anymore, then yeah, maybe you need to announce it, but then you have to tell people what happened. Just tell people what's going on. I've never understood this. There's a problem. Just tell the people what's going on. It's like if I have drama, I just tell people what's going on. I just say, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. So that you don't have to worry or wonder or whatever. This is what it is. And if it's something that nobody's worrying about, then there's no point talking about it. You know? But to be like, oh, well, we cut ties with a public figure here in our company, but we're not going to tell you who it is. Obviously, now everybody's guessing. And if your issue is misinformation, that wasn't a smart move. That's not going to fix that. This is just, again, another example where, like, you guys do the thing to cause it, and then you complain that it exists. You put the message back there that gets people all talking, speculating, guessing, all of that, you know, and then afterwards you're like, why are people doing that? That's so weird. Drives me insane. I wonder if Chris is on Christian Mingle. Maybe. He apparently has a girlfriend, though. That's why he wanted to take a break, so he could, you know, work on their relationship. Yeah, they're as transparent as mud. Twisted into what? Something more negative than it already is. That's what I mean. Like what are you gonna say? What is there to say? If people are saying something about OnPassive, it usually is because Marty and Chris brought it up. It's usually because of that. So again, you need to talk to them about how they deliver their message. And that's a short drive, is it?
Are getting closer and closer together, and it's going to be fun. So we have, you know, with what we're doing right now, we have some incredible topics to discuss, and they're unlimited. What we can discuss, and we can have some productive discussions to motivate one another.
Just don't understand the point in discussing all things AI. Like, if you're not just discussing your AI, technically you're bringing up your competition then constantly. That's probably not good. I'm just saying.
And in this process, I'd like to just have everybody be, we want to be just like Mr. Mufareh.
Oh, my.
And when I say that, I mean, let's develop some thick skin with a soft heart. I heard that quote and it just hit me. thick skin. Look, we need to, not be so
Oh yeah, Ash, known for his thick skin.
sensitive about things. Develop that thick skin like he has, but maintain that soft heart. Turn it back over to you guys.
Oh no, are they going to send me a Dear There letter?
Who's next? Mike? Marty?
Yeah, let's let the cat out of the bag. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't come in and out, guys, but I'm just going to get going and I'm going to go.
What? Like you're leaving? Bye, Mike. I think that's what he meant, though. I think that's what he meant. Yeah, it was Dear There. Mm-hmm. I just, like, go, Mike, go! You go, Mike! I just, okay. It's going to go on a tangent is what's going to happen.
When we talk about AI does not have a moral base. Absolutely does not have a moral base. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad, doesn't matter. But what we have is someone who has a tremendous moral base. That's Ash Mufareh.
I'd like to argue that. I would like to argue that. I feel like he doesn't have much morals. There are many things that he has done that I've covered on my channel that makes me question his morals. Like being able to prey on people in PNG. Lie to them, tell them that he's going to bring them all water filtration systems. And then just not do it. These are things that even when I've covered them, I've tried to put myself in his position. And I'm like, I could never promise somebody that and then just not deliver it. I would feel like a piece of shit forever. That would really suck. How does this man promise things like that every day? And then he just goes to sleep at night. With $108 million in his bank account, though, I guess it's easier. But I don't think so. Because I would be able to spend that money. Because every single dime that I spent, it would be like, you fucking stole these from people. I have a very guilty conscience. I have the kind of conscience where you wake up in the middle of the night, And I feel like Ash can't have that. He can't be the same as me in that way. Because there's no way he would be able to do the things that he does. And then be able to just go and sleep for a whole night. And not have any anxiety. And be able to laugh about it. I don't know. It takes a very special type of person, I feel like. You know who can always stay calm in crazy situations? A narcissist. So they don't feel the emotions. They don't have the anxieties. They don't have worries. They don't fucking care. So they never worry. So they don't care what other people think or about hurting people. They have no empathy. They don't have any of that. So they're the types of people that can go and do very cool things to people and then walk away and literally not even think about it ever again. It's just a regular thing. It's like brushing their teeth or something normal to them. Whereas people that have decent people, with a conscience, if they do something that hurts somebody, they feel sorry for it. They feel guilt. They feel shame. These are emotions that you kind of need a conscience in order to feel them. Empathy for others, They wouldn't be able to do these things. It's not just about me, it's about that type of person. So it's like, I don't know. Ash can't have the same. He can't be the same. He's very different than the rest of us in that way. Because of the magnitude that he's done this. And to who he has done this to. the people that he specifically sought out, are the most vulnerable people in our world. So when you guys are doing that, I go, morals? Where are they? I don't know if there are any at all. And every time that we think that you've gone really, really low, there's a basement of the basement's basement. It's insane. These three remind me of the last guy still arguing that blacks and women have no constitutional right to vote and it should be up to the states. Yeah, this is probably what they'd look like.
Got a heart to serve. And because of that, when we look at the tool of AI, we know that with...
It's like you couldn't even build one water filtration system with that. Like not even one, just to be like, I've done that. You want to name a metro station after yourself in a mall. You want to be all over it, right? But you could just do one water filtration. You could do one of those really good ones, by the way, for like $20,000. So put it in perspective for you. He could have done a whole bunch of them. It wasn't because of lack of money. It was because he wanted that money for himself. Hi, Serene. I see only one of Ash's attorneys resigned because she's leaving the firm. The rest remain on record. All right. Thank you, Violet. Good to know. Good to know. Everyone thank Violet. Violet paid for the court records so we could find out what was going on. So they say thank you, Violet. I can't do it for some reason because I'm in Canada. It won't let me. I tried. It was like, no, you can't. I was like, okay. Hello, John. Good to see you. But Violet did, and that's what's going on. Is it the female attorney? I think there was only one. Post it in the Discord. I want to know who it is.
With the company that's coming out, it's going to be used in the right way, honest, clean, and ethical. There's no doubt about it. So,
and just buzzwords they're using.
As we start to look about where we are, and I've thought about this the last...
You love how he looks around his house when he said that. So performative, Better watch out, John Barilla. Mike Ellis is going to come for your job. It was? Okay. Thank you, Violet. I needed to know because, I was suspicious. That's the one that was doing the back and forth email. So that checks out. That makes sense. Yeah. Let's get the likes up. Yeah, get the likes up. Like the stream. Well, in all fairness, the country has gone downhill since the women have gone to vote. Cause and effect, Joe. So no throat clearing? Not as much in this one. Not as much in this one.
Couple of days.
There is still a bit, though. Always does.
I thought to myself, why do people come and listen to Marty, Dan, and Mike? Why do you listen to us?
I don't know.
Well,
this is the first time that the three of them have streamed together in a very long time. And the way Mike just said that sounds like they've been streaming together every single day for like months. And people just keep coming back. And they're like, why are you guys here? It's like, no, this is like your first actual show together, like in a very, very long time. In fact, I don't think you three have been together, like just the three of you, in probably a couple of years. Like, because Marty's been streaming with Chris every day. And even if he's brought you guys up, like Chris has been there. And I don't even remember that really happening with both of you, especially. I think they only did Shin the Light with you guys. That's not the same. So it's been a very, very long time. So it's just such a weird question, the way you worded it.
We've been doing this a very, very long time. And hopefully you come and listen to us so you get a little insight into what's coming, what your business is going to look like. And I think it's really important that people don't spend an effort on things that they can't do anything about.
But okay, this is the thing. I'm a very visual person. So I need to be able to like visualize what my business is going to be. And the way that you just said that sounds like, yeah, I should be doing that. But I don't even know what the business is. So see, I can't do that. So that's a problem, Mike. And it's like, you're so close. But it's like you just don't actually get it. I don't know.
A lot of people, most of the people I talk to, all.
How many people do you talk to, Mike, in a day? I'm just wondering. I need to know.
All that they can think about is win. And it really is the wrong question. We can't control when. And Mr. Mufareh, he's gonna do what he's gonna do as quickly as he can.
We can't control when. Okay.
I have no doubt about that. And I think we're closer than probably anybody knows. But I think a more pertinent question, and I know you think about this, but
are they going to get rid of in it to win it? I'll be so sad.
You should think about it a little bit more. You know, Dan talked about this is a business. It is absolutely 100%. Why are we here? We're here. We want to take care of our bottom line. We want to be able to take care of ourselves, our family, our kids, our community, that kind of thing. And to do that, you have to build an income, period.
Yeah. Which is money, finances, right? Period. So are we going back to being about money now? Instead of just saving humanity? Is that what's happening?
I think when Mr. Mufareh comes out with phase 2, it's going to be pretty exciting.
The last time he came out, he said there is no phase 2. We're scratching all the phases and we're doing something new. Did you not get the O news?
But I would rather have you think about that first step. What's your first step?
I don't know. I don't even know what my business is. How am I supposed to be coming up with steps? How? I don't, like, this is why you need to know what you're selling. And like what it's going to be called. Like these are things you need to know.
Dan's right. You're not going to be a millionaire in a week and a half. It's not going to happen.
Well, no, apparently not, because I don't even know what my business is or what I'm selling. So I guess scratch that off the list.
That's not what this company is about. It's not what it's built on.
What was that thing that Marty just did with his head? Watch Marty.
What's your first step? Dan's right. You're not going to be a millionaire in a week and a half. It's not going to happen. That's not what this company is about. It's not what it's built on.
What was that? Is that supposed to be like an eye roll? A little head eye roll? So it is about financial freedom, but you're not going to be a millionaire in a week and a half. Okay.
But you can think about what will be a major impact in your life monetarily, whatever that number is. For some people, it's $200. For some people, it's $1,000. For some people, it's a little bit more. But if you think about that number and then you listen to us, we're gonna give you a pretty good idea on how to get there. And I'll give you an example. Phase 1. I could tell you what to do, when
I don't know, Mr. Singh. Why are you late?
to do it, and how to do it. Okay? Phase 1. I don't know anything about phase 2, so I can't tell you about phase 2.
The phases.
But in phase 1, I think both Marty and Dan could give you a pretty good idea of what was necessary in order for you to build an online income and make it significant for you and your family. And significant, again, it's different from person to person.
Oh, for crying out loud. But 5 years ago, it was all about becoming a millionaire within a few weeks. Yep. Yeah, you can make $30,000 a day, apparently. Maybe even an hour in on passive. When they first launched, that was their big thing. It was all about the money. Then when the money didn't come, right? Don't tempt Marty to bring out his calculator. It'll all be over then. You know it's over when Marty brings out the calculator.
I would start to think about what's that initial number that I need to get to, and then I can tell you. And this,
Do you not think that they haven't been thinking about that for 7 fucking years? Like I'm like, how dumb do you think the people in OnPassive are? Because how much do we have to really prepare before we start this business? That is really an MLM business that everyone else just finds out it exists and then joins that very day. Come on.
This is me speaking. I don't know if Dan or Marty would say this. When I hear what Mr. Mufareh has to say, I'm going to have a pretty good idea on what you need to do, how you need to do it, and when you need to do it.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to do it for you, but I think we're going to be able to give you some pretty good guidance because of what Mr. Mufareh is going to be sharing.
Yeah, okay, but what about in the meantime? What's everybody supposed to be doing right now? Just sitting around and waiting? They're watching these streams of what? You trying to convince us that when it does launch, then you'll know what we're doing? This is dumb.
You know, when we think about this business and we think about Mr. Mufareh, the vision hasn't changed. His heart hasn't changed. He still wants to help people get over that hurdle. He still wants to level the playing field. And although we don't have anything to say about phase 2, that's okay. I know when he comes out and he starts talking about
there is no phase 2. Oh my God, this is going to be the new there is no tech team. I swear to God, there's no phase 2. You can't start doing this, Mike. As you're also talking about misinformation. Oh, my brain feels like a ping pong.
About it. It's going to be stellar. And he has told us it's going to be better than you can imagine. Well, as Marty said, I've got a pretty good imagination, and I know you all do too. But anytime you can come in, level the playing field, and then have the help that this community has, and it's not just myself and Marty and Dan. There are a lot of people out there that they really have good hearts. They're here to help. And as we learn more about what's coming, there are going to be things in there that I absolutely believe that, and I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe this. I absolutely believe we will change lives. Maybe I'll change 1 or 2 or 3. Some people never change a life in their whole life for the better, not the worse, the better. And if you can do that, I can show you a way that changing 1 life changes your whole outlook, changes your whole life.
Oh my God.
Changes it changes the way you think. It really does.
We're back to the just change one person's life thing.
So as we sit here and chat with you, both of these guys have tremendous insight. They've been doing this a long time. They're all older than I am. and they're going to have some really, really great insight for everybody, as will I. We're in a really terrific place right now. I wouldn't change the way things happened. And I'll turn it back over to Marty, but I got one other thing to say. You know, you can build a brand, and when you build a brand, you build it by drops. It takes a long time. It does not happen overnight. Marty, Dan, and I, we've been working on this for over a decade.
What is the brand? We don't know the brand. How do we build it?
It's drop by drop by drop. But if you're not honest, clean, and ethical, as Marty talked about these companies, you lose that branding in buckets. And once you start to lose it, you can't get it back. Mr. Mufareh, he understands all of this. He's not going to do anything to jeopardize not only his future, but our future. And that's why when I say we're in a really, really good place, we're with someone that understands how to do this stuff better than most, probably better than most people that are out there. So just stay tuned in, stay engaged, start thinking about where you want to be, and then hopefully we can start filling in some of the questions you have, how to get there. And that's really where we all want to be. And I think that's coming,
Oh, my Lord.
as I said, quicker than anybody thinks. Marty, back over to you. Hopefully you could hear me.
Marty back there.
No, it was perfect. Your connection was fine. No problem at all.
Well, you waited until the very end. I hope you could hear me. Well, he kind of mentioned it at the beginning. They didn't say anything. Then at the end, he's like, hope you could hear me. Imagine if he was muted like Marty does sometimes. That would have been funny.
Yeah, I want people to keep in mind, if we take care of the least of us and they can change their lives, that will be nothing but pressure up that all of our lives would change automatically, not counting what we're doing on top of that. So think about that. Think about, the billions of people that make $2 a day. Think about the millions and billions of people that if you could make it possible for them to make an extra $200 a month. Now, we always look at it from our eyes, from the United States, Canada, UK.
Yeah, but again, I can't even envision that. Because I don't know the name of the company. I don't know the product I'm selling. I don't know any of this. So how can I even really plan for that in any way? It's stupid to expect that. Throat clear. I knew it. That's right. Scammer's throat clear.
Reality is most of the world doesn't have quite that view. And I believe OnPassive, or this company, whatever it might be, will give that view possibility to anybody that decides to be involved. I believe that with all my heart. So, and that, you can't beat that. And like Mike said, if I could change one life, 2 lives, 3 lives, how many lives do people really change? Let's face the facts. Most people die and never really lived. They had dreams, They had hopes, and they died with them.
Yeah, Marty. And this thing still hasn't launched. Marty has zero emotional intelligence. He has no idea about poverty in the third world. He literally even said this. And then another time, he claimed that he was well-traveled with his job and that he had seen all of the poverty in the world. And then after that, he went back to, I didn't realize that there were people that were living in huts and stuff. That was crazy to me. And I was like, oh my God, stop. You can't decide if you know or not. They have been paying off the $97 they borrowed 5 years ago, Marty. Yep. Pretty much.
Some people had dreams and hopes and money and didn't really get what they wanted. There was that something was missing. And what better thing than to build an income by helping others, uplifting humanity. It's just, I can't think of anything better. I can't think of the wonder why God would love this company. I believe with all my heart.
Yeah, okay. God's looking down like, don't bring me into this scam again. I want nothing to do with this.
Because it was focused on that type of thing. We are our brother's keeper. Like Dan said, we're not going to do it for you. But I guarantee there's a lot of sharp people.
Yeah, I believe that the Bible, Jesus says to, house the homeless, feed the poor, except all immigrants. So, I don't think that U.S. Christians follow that one too well anyway. I'm just saying. But I don't think that in the Bible anywhere it said, join a pyramid scheme in order to do these things. Right? The idea is that you're just supposed to be a good person, basically, is what it is. Serve others. That was the big message. Be okay serving other people, Jesus used to wash people's feet. I can't do that. I don't like feet, but I know some people that might. Hello, little Miss Lulu. They say, God called me personally. He said, fuck you. So that's what God says to your scam. I can tell you right now, all right? There was a God, which I don't personally believe in, but if you do, I would like to think God's like, no, thank you. I don't want anything to do with this shit. Fuck this scam. This thing can't launch.
People out there, or women or men, that are carrying baskets on their head, walking miles and miles for water. You show them a couple buttons and what they need to do, and even if they get together as a family in a cafe somewhere where they have computers.
Well, that's the thing, is like, even to make $200 in an MLM, okay, in a usual MLM, one of their products selling it, you might get, if you're lucky, 30 PV, personal volume. So you're selling quite a few of them in order to bring in $200. And that's only if each PV equates to $1, which it does not always. Oftentimes it's even more than that. So that just gives you an idea that that's not even an easy feat. I know it sounds really simple, you would think, to sell a product and make $200, but you have to also remember that in MLMs, it's not 100% commission, and you're also not really on a commission basis. You're actually in an MLM point system. It's slightly different, and this is part of the issue with these things in comparison to like direct sales companies that do commissions based on dollar sales. So if you sell a service through them or a product through them, your commissions are usually based on how many dollars you made them. And then you get a percentage of that. In an MLM, one personal volume does not always equate to $1 of a price of a product. So a product could be $40, but it's only worth 20 PV. So when you sell it, instead of you being able to go, oh, I made $40 for the company, it's like I made 20 personal volume points, and I need at least 200 of them to make $100 here. That's more how it works getting paid in an MLM. Even them being like, oh, you can make $200 in a month. It's like, no, probably not, because you would probably have to sell $400 worth at least of product to do that based on how these point systems work. And then often, even if you went by the cost of the product, it's still really hard. But oftentimes it's even worse, right? So they don't ever make that amount. So what ends up happening in MLMs is you as the distributor at the end of the month, right? There's a cutoff date to get paid. So you're looking at it, you got 4 or 5 days left to make $100 worth of sales. So you end up just buying it all yourself. Or you get your husband to buy it off of you. And then that's how a lot of people stay active. So even if they are like, oh, you don't have to buy product every month, there's no auto ship, blah, blah, blah. No matter what, eventually you reach that point where you're like, now I'm purchasing just to stay an active distributor here. So it's never as transparent, even when they try to make it seem like they're transparently telling you about it. It's not. Because the point system is never, it's definitely set up for you to fail. And for it to be like twice as difficult. Like, it's always part of the problem with these things. So, you know, it doesn't sound like a lot when they go, you could sell, you know, you can make $200, because a lot of people think, okay, well, if the product's like $100, then what? They sell like what, like 4 of those, and they make no, it'll be more like 8 of them in order to make it, yeah, with 20% commission, yeah. That will actually, at least. We'll have to double it because the PRV is going to be half of it. That's usually how it goes. Pretty standard, especially with the 3x10 matrices.
And it's over. It's over because once the revenue comes in, remember, a little bit goes a long ways in most of these countries.
So grimy. It's just so grimy. I don't like anything about it. To be like, oh, well, you know, they'll be happy to make $200 US. It's just, it's gross.
It's life changing. And we're the door. We're the one with the baton. We're the one that's going to hand it off. We got to be ready. But here's the thing, like Mike and Dan said.
Again, what does that look like, being ready? Like there's no end goal with this, really. What does ready mean? I'm somebody, I need to know what the expectations are. So if you say, get ready, I need to know what that means. You cannot just say, get ready, and then expect me to be like, oh, okay, I know exactly what I should do for this. What does it look like to be ready and OnPassive? You know, what are the things that I have to do? Can you tell me that?
You got to be ready. I hear people saying and asking and questioning certain things, then you're not ready.
So part of being ready is having blind loyalty and faith to it. Not questioning anything. And just accepting everything as is. Because in that case, I'm never going to be ready. I'm not the one.
You're just not even near.
I am not a ride or die type. You know, I've got a lot of questions. I'm not just going to be like, let's go, woohoo.
Because like it or not like it, it's going to be something like, go.
And then I'm not even really sure what that means. Like, what does it mean when you say go? Because according to what Mike Ellis did, when he said he was about to go, it just means I talk a bunch of nonsense for like 10 minutes. So when you say go this time, what does that mean? Where am I going? Can I bring snacks? Should I bring clothes for tomorrow? Like, you know, where am I going? What are we doing? What does it look like? What is it? You can't even describe that to me. Nothing makes sense here.
What?
Yeah, what?
Well, you have to tell me twice.
Oh, okay.
Call my big behind secretariat. I will be out of there. I will be out of there. Because I've already planned in my head. I want to go quick. Why?
I can't plan in my head if I don't know what I'm planning. Jesus. Ash's new vision to introduce affiliate products he doesn't produce or own and let those companies process the payments. Being ready means having your next payment ready for another launch. I mean, is that what it means? But then how much do I need? Right? Like, this is what there's no way to get ready. You keep telling me to get ready, and there's no way to do that. Very frustrated. I don't know how this helps me brand myself at all.
Last 8 weeks, thinking I was going to die. And every minute was an hour. No joke. And they took forever, and healthcare sucks. And if you don't have money, you're just a number. I'm thinking about the people I met there now, are laying in the bed, looking up the ceiling. Nobody's visiting them. I want to get back and try to help that thing. I think I was put there on purpose. So that's another thing I want to be part of. Something's got to give. It's not right. It shouldn't matter how big your bank account is, how well you're treated. Anyway, I got another clip I wanted to play. And this is AI news for today, July 7th.
Welcome to your AI headline news for July 7th, 2025. Let's dive into the biggest stories shaping the future of technology today. The FDA has just launched Elsa, an AI assistant that helps speed up food recalls by automating inspections and label checks.
I hate it.
Faster safety, powered by AI.
Also narrated by AI, and the videos made by AI.
Google's Gemini is gaining momentum with Logan Kilpatrick, once known as Logan GPT, leading the charge in AI engagement. The EU has delayed its AI compliance guide until the end of the year, leaving businesses uncertain about upcoming regulations. European publishers are fighting back, filing complaints over Google's AI summaries that they say are killing website traffic.
Okay.
A shocking $25 million was stolen in a deepfake video call scam. AI-powered fraud is on the rise. Stay alert. Cloudflare is taking a stand, blocking AI crawlers by default and letting sites charge bots for content access. In the UK,
the irony of saying AI scams. Wow.
Channel 4 is testing fully AI-generated ads on its streaming service, making ad creation faster and cheaper. Microsoft is rolling out Copilot across Windows and the cloud, bringing AI into productivity tools like never before. Samsung is set to unveil new foldables and Galaxy AI tech tomorrow. Could a trifold phone be
A lot of this stuff's been going on for a while, Marty.
coming? Finally, in Singapore, researchers are using AI to discover new materials, cutting R&D time from years to months. That's your AI roundup for July 7th. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because the future is
How does that help me with OnPassive? How does it even help me promote OnPassive? None of it is OnPassive AI. This is what other AI does. So come join our company for our AI. How does that work?
unfolding faster than ever.
Anyway, that's what I got. Dan, do you have anything you want to say?
I just, along the lines of what you guys were just talking about, I just said, just imagine your hopes and your dreams becoming a reality very soon, and
right,
leaving.
He's like listing up things that they started doing in like the late 90s. He's like, it's going to be great, guys. And that's what's going on in July of 2025. It's like, what?
Just think about the legacy that you'll be able to leave, and not only enjoying everything in your life, now, but having a lasting impact on the lives of others who are less fortunate. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about taking care of our bottom line, but then but having the mindset of being selfless and giving, and that's the most rewarding thing that we can have. Mike?
Yeah, Dan. Listening to Marty, I remembered a program I saw not too long ago, and it's not an isolated event, and the whole topic was the individuals in that country, their work, and how much they were making. And I think it was Somalia. I'm not quite sure, but I think it was Somalia. And there's no jobs there. absolutely no jobs whatsoever.
Leave them alone.
And these individuals, they'll go to work for just about nothing, just to bring in a little bit of money to them and their families. And the average monthly income for their family was $60. That's monthly income. Now, that is not isolated. If you look around the world,
yeah, so they're not paying $100 to join your piece of shit company.
The numbers change, but people still have a hard time trying to make ends meet. And when you start to think about what products are going to be coming to us very, very shortly, at least based on the past, I know Mr. Mufareh, he doesn't base, when he comes into the market, he doesn't base a product off of want, but he bases it off of need. And if you need something and it's terrific technology, above market value at a lower price point, just think about this.
Could have fooled me. I thought he based it off of what was popular 25 years ago.
And you think about the people around the world and what they're making. Our market is staggering. And when you think about the market, when you think about the products, when you think about putting this in front of people, it's just a no-brainer. And it doesn't matter whose content you use, whether it's Phase 2 content or Marty's or Dan's or mine. There will be good quality content out there that you can get in front of people. And when people see that their lives can change in a really, really positive way, and it has a major impact on what they do and how they do it. Can you imagine $60 a month? And these people could not make it. I mean, they're just scraping by. They are so frugal, you can't even imagine it. And of course, they don't like their situation, but because there's nothing out there yet, what are they going to do? Well, that yet is about to change, and it's about to change in a very, very major way. And each and every one of us that are engaged and are moving forward with Mr. Mufareh, it's a big deal, guys. And believe me, over time, and again, this doesn't happen overnight. Branding usually takes between 9 and 10, 12 years. But with what Mr. Mufareh is bringing out, levels the playing field and gives you the ability over time, maybe it's a year, 2, 3, where you get to that place where you're really taking care of your financial bottom line. And I can tell you, when I first started online, if someone would have told me in 3 or 4 or 5 years, I would be in a position where I didn't have to worry about finances.
Should have kept going. 6, 7 years. You mean 7 years at least, right?
I would have been jumping for joy because I've been here a lot longer than 5 years. So we don't know quite yet how long it's going to take. But I think when Mr. Mufareh comes out and starts explaining things to us, we'll have a pretty good idea. And obviously, Marty and Dan, they're not afraid to tell you what they think, and neither am I. So keep watching. I think it's going to be very, very interesting in the days to come, days and weeks to come. And we'll have more for you, guaranteed. Marty, go ahead.
Fantastic. I got a short clip. This clip is something that I believe we're all looking forward to. And it's called True Time Freedom.
Imagine waking up, not to an alarm clock, but to freedom. No boss, no 9 to 5, just you, owning every second of your day. This isn't a dream.
This is the video I was talking about earlier. Yep, it's not a get rich quick scheme, not about the money, but we need a profit. And here's a video about time freedom. Yep, we're doing that today. Or I guess last night.
It's called True Time Freedom. Work when you want, travel wherever you want, be with who you want, and live with purpose. Because time isn't money, time is life. And when you control your time, you control your destiny. It's not just freedom, it's true time freedom. Thank you for watching.
Anyway, thanks everybody for being here. We'll be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Dan will be here when he can. We're going to run Monday to Saturday. We're not going to have lives on Sunday right now. That could change. If things
Why?
change, we'll change. But right now,
Well, so what happened to the prayer ticker? Why did we take it down? Because there was only one prayer.
that's enough. We'll go till Saturday. And thank you, everybody. Any input you have, obviously, send an email to Mike or Dan or myself. We're
Not to the prayer email. Don't do that.
always looking for different stuff that people want to know or what they feel. And maybe if we can help, we want to help. Anyway, we'll see you.
Well, if you did want to troll them and send them a bunch of prayer requests, I wouldn't find it not funny.
all.
And that's where it ends, I guess. Love you all, he says. You can have time freedom so long as you watch these stupid webinars for hours every day, right? Exactly. Marty thinks he did great with that video. It actually cuts off. It's an awful video. An awful video. And that was an awful show. But that is the new Three Amigos. As you can see, it's very different vibes for when Marty and Chris went live. I don't know. Did Dan Street help it compared to yesterday when it was just Mike and Marty? I did feel like he, I guess, kind of made it better. There was more flow to today's. I guess we'll have to see. I mean, last night's, I guess. That was the last night's. They're going live in a couple hours. So I guess we'll have to see how it goes. You know, when it's just Mike and Marty again, if they got it right. Or if we really do need Dan to help it go better. I don't know. Tell me what your thoughts are about this. Circling the drain of OnPassive, that's right. I never made a dime. No one does in this thing. No one does. But I doubt we're going to see Ash for a while. I'm wondering if we're going to see him even before September now with the new news. I don't know if we'll see him over the summer at all. I guess, again, we'll just have to wait and see. That's it for today, guys. That's all I got for you. Dan is just too confident. Yeah, maybe they need like a bit of confidence on there, though. Because I feel like yesterday's was rougher to get through. And it was like a lot more dry. And like Marty and Mike Ellis, like just the two of them together, there's no chemistry. Like it doesn't flow like a proper conversation. So I feel like today's with Dan was a little bit better. You know, we got through it today a little better. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out tonight. I don't know if Dan's going to be on tonight. Didn't really sound like it, so I guess we'll know. But I hope that all of you have a fabulous, amazing night. I am either going to be going live tomorrow or the next day, again, depending on what's going on in my real life and etc. And we're going to be talking about a interesting new thing that I found. So stay tuned for that. But I hope that all of you had a wonderful, amazing day today. And that you continue to have a wonderful day. Please do stay tuned to the community tab for all that great stuff. Stay skeptical. Stay safe. All that good stuff. And I'll see you all very soon with another one. I love all your faces. Bye. And it's a winner.
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke. If that's a call.
Hey.
And I'm your friend.
In it to win it.
My name is Ash Mufareh.
If you're rude, if you've been doubting or spying, or we know who you are.
Stop going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought on. Her debate was screaming at Ash. And another Queen of Karma asking about why don't we answer the question. I think we've answered that over and over again.
I've been answering them all morning long. It's not the answer you want. Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
All right, this is a great way to start your day. Come here and tune in to crazy talking about your experiences. My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Have a fabulous night, everyone. I love all your faces. See you soon. Bye. Like and subscribe.
Stop going there. That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my YouTube channel. It breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufareh.
Stop going there. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there.
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
Let's go to Guyana.